guys, welcome back to the channel. So I want to do a video here, 5 things I hate about my Dodge Challenger SRT8, and that is tough to find for myself, as I absolutely love this vehicle through and through. But I do have 5 things here that I genuinely don't like about the vehicle, and let's get started. Reason number 1, the interior materials here are god-awful terrible. There's no other way to put it. These materials are about the same quality as my father's 2010 Chrysler Town & Country minivan. They're not good. Now, yes, the seats are nice and the Alcantara is nice, but for the most part, the interior is not very nice. And that goes for a lot of late 2000s vehicles, whether it's from Chrysler or GM or Ford. Reason number 2, the steering wheel on this vehicle is so large and essentially so round that there's no good 10 and 2 notch, there's no good 9 and 3 grip, and there's no flat bottom. It is so round it feels like I'm holding on to a buffet sized dinner plate. I mean, the rims of the car have to be the size of this steering wheel. This could be a 20-inch rim. It's quite insane. Unbelievable, actually, just how bad it is. Number 3, the Uconnect infotainment system in here, whether it's the steering wheel controls to the actual Uconnect system, isn't that great. Now, when it came out, I'm sure it was great, but right now it's just not quite there. And for that reason, I could really go for an aftermarket system, but I like my vehicle stock, so I have to leave it. Reason number 4, and this is sort of contradictory. I don't even know if I really want to put this reason on there. But of course, gas mileage is an issue, but the 1 to 4 shift, I just don't really like that much. So when you're going from first gear, it'll want you, and it'll tell you under light load to shift into 4th gear just right now. And I don't necessarily like that much, because I want to go from 1st gear to 2nd gear to 3rd gear to 4th gear. This isn't my daily driver. So for that reason, I don't really like that aspect of it. And now, I want to say, I can't even remember what number I was just on. I believe I was on reason 4. Reason 5, sorry about that. Reason 5, and this again fits the characteristic of the car, but the clutch pedal is so stiff that it can be sometimes difficult, especially when you don't drive this car all the time. It can be difficult to figure out the clutch engagement point, because you have to have a really strong leg, left leg specifically, to figure out where the clutch engagement point is. And that can be very difficult from a stop. And that's where I struggle the most, is at a stop when you need to put it back into 1st gear or release the clutch. You can sometimes stall because that clutch engagement point is so essentially tiny, and the clutch is so heavy that if you're waiting at a light or whatever, that can become quite an issue when you're trying to get going. But after a little bit of time, it essentially goes away. But that is that's another reason why I don't like the car. You know, I'm going to throw another reason in here. Sometimes the visibility out of these small rear view mirrors can be a little blocked just by the sheer size of the rear end of this vehicle. So you really need to make sure that you're looking where you're going, especially in this manual when you're reversing. And that actually leads me on to the next thing. So we're way over the 5 things I don't like. This is just bonus now. There's no front or rear or backup camera. So there's no front or rear sensors, and there's no backup camera on this large ass vehicle. So essentially this is a 4,100 pound boat, and you get no parking sensors on it. So for that matter, especially being a manual, you really need to make sure you know where you're at, especially in the dark, if you're close to any other vehicles, or if you're close to a building or sign or something like that, just because this vehicle is such a sheer mass of metal, and it can really be dangerous at points here, especially without a backup camera. And I know the government mandated a backup camera here fairly recently, I believe back in 2017. But here we go with that clutch. You just have to be really careful with it. And there we go. There's that first to fourth shift again. So that'll do it, guys. That's just a quick little recap. 5 things I hate or dislike about this Challenger SRT8. I thank you guys for watching, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.